Hello, it's me, the M.E Goddess. My name is Bernice, and I have myalgic encephalomyelitis, also known as chronic fatigue syndrome. If this is your first time popping by my channel, thanks for visiting. If you're interested in catching up on my story, just pop onto the playlists. I've kind of divided everything up into chapters on there. I thought that might be the easiest. And I just need to get something to lay my arm on. So at the moment I am practicing, my sitting up. See, bed's up. I've been doing my stretches. I'm trying to get supple enough to sit in a cross-legged position so that my body doesn't have to worry about getting enough blood running around my brain, and just to make things easier so I can be upright for a bit longer. So today I wanted to talk about fear of missing out. We've just had a beautiful long weekend with Labor Day here in New Zealand, and I know while I don't want to speak for anybody else, I do know that social media can be a tool and a weapon at the same time. Facebook for me it's a lifeline a lot of the time, where I can connect with people, because being inside this room and on this bed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, year after year now, it's very easy to sort of become very insular. And I mean, technology is an amazing thing. I have struggled with not being able to be present for my children's events and things like that, and having FaceTime, like my little girl was doing St. John penguins, the other wee baby cadets, and she was getting her Super Penguin Award and I couldn't be there. So I was on FaceTime and I could see her get her award. She turned around, she could see my face on the screen, and we were able to share that moment. So technology has definitely enabled me to still be present and to be a parent. But there are days when the simplest of things can send me into such a depressive cycle. And it will be, people are just going about their normal lives. I'm not even talking about the fact that, on Facebook or social media, people put their best face on things, because I don't think I do. I think I'm a bit of one of those oversharers. I don't have a filter, and I share the shit days as well as the good days, but there's just some days when I have a serious case of FOMO. I have this fear of missing out, and it could be something as simple as a friend's gone to the beach, and I just spiral. And I've had to accept, I'm working on accepting, but I accept the situation as what it is, and it's shit. And that's okay. I don't have to turn it into anything it's not. It's completely, utterly shit that I can't go to the beach, or that I can't go outside, or that, can't. What I can do is on those days protect myself. And part of the process for me is to remind myself that actually I have control over how bad I let that in, how much I let that in. It's something I'm discovering with this therapy that I'm doing, which is acceptance commitment therapy. with a neuropsychologist from the hospital. Rather than, positive mental attitude and all of that sort of thing, cognitive behaviour therapy, this particular situation, which isn't going to improve, it's about accepting. And accepting, for me, has meant surrender. And they're big words. And what I'm learning is that it's actually okay to accept that the situation is less than desirable. And that is something I'm learning. That doesn't mean to say that I want to sit here and moan on and on and on about it. But I do want to acknowledge it. I think it's really important when something's really tough in your life, whatever it is, to acknowledge that it's a bit shit. And you don't have to justify that. You don't have to say, but so-and-so is much worse off than me. And you don't have to say, you don't have to dress it up. I think especially Kiwis, we're really bad at this, in that we have a situation and then we have to say something positive about it. This is really bad, but and what I'm learning is to say, this is really shit. End of sentence. It doesn't require anyone to try and add on to that sentence. Part of the process, I think, of coping with missing out on life. I mean, there's a very good reason why M.E campaigners use the term millions missing, because we are missing literally from our own lives. So today, I guess it's just sharing that you don't have to justify anything. You don't have to dress it up. You don't have to be positive. You don't have to do anything. It's actually completely okay to just say, this is shit. This isn't fair. I guess part of the process, and once you've said that, is to then find a place to put that. Something that we've been through in our lives has really helped me understand that joy and grief, or good feelings and sad feelings, they can sit side by side on the same bench. They're not mutually exclusive. I think often we're put in this place where we have to be positive. And that works for some people. That gets some people out of the funk. For me, I can be a fairly positive person, but that doesn't mean that I have to accept that something isn't fair. I learnt through having our little ones through surrogacy how joy and grief can become unusual bedfellows. I had such grief around the fact I couldn't carry our babies. The grief around not being able to pass on and share my genetics with my husband, but having this desperate knowledge that my babies were waiting to come. Had absolute certainty that my family was not complete. And going through that process, like when our surrogates, our friends who carried our little ones, were pregnant, there was just such joy and gratitude around that. And that sat right beside the grief that I was experiencing and not being able to carry those babies myself. And I think that experience and that awareness that sadness and sad feelings and good feelings, they can sit side by side. I am really sad at what I'm missing out on, and I'm really sad at what my family's missing out on, except for them, they have a better way of accepting things than I do. But I also have gratitude about now having a care package and having equipment at home, and things like that. I have the same relationship with social media. I have gratitude for technology that allows me to still be, to feel less isolated, to have a window to the world, to be able to reach out to people and connect, to be able to parent from my bed. And I also have a tremendous amount of sadness that I can't experience or give my family or go and share in the things that are going on for the people around me, be it sitting on a beach, walking through the botanical gardens, going to the zoo. These are all very simple things, and also my joy at other people's ability to go and do those things and share those things with their family. I have really happy feelings for them, and I also feel really sad, for us. I guess I just kind of wanted to talk about that though the happy feelings and the sad feelings are not mutually exclusive. You do not just have to have one or the other. You may have one or the other, but what I've learnt through our surrogacy journey is that with enough mental gymnastics and an open heart and acknowledging your own pain, my own pain and my own grief, those things can exist in the same space. I get sad. It's a version of FOMO. I don't think it's true FOMO, but because I know physically there's absolutely no way I could do any of those things, but I get so sad about it. But that's not a reflection on the people's whose lives are going on. I just get sad that my life isn't going on in that way. So, yeah, this acceptance therapy is intriguing and interesting because any other type of therapy I've had has always led to a place of kind of being positive. But sometimes being positive isn't enough. Sometimes you have to be sad and angry and grieve. And the grief process can be very complex and can take a long time. And I just think it's really important for me personally. I can only speak for myself, but it has been very important for me to be able to say, I'm really sad about this. And I'm really grateful for now having a care package, and I'm angry that it took so long to get it. And I'm grateful for having more time with my family because of medication changes and whatnot, and having this equipment that takes a lot of physical strain off my overtaxed body. And I'm sad about everything I can't do with my kids, and I'm glad that we have technology, and I'm angry that this has happened and my life has been reduced to a bed, and my vitality and everything that I used to think was me is now not possible. And I'm glad that I have the opportunity to explore who I am even when my body's broken. So it's a complex thing, and sometimes I have to disappear from the internet for a bit and recharge. I think it's a really healthy thing to do, that if you're going on and you're being affected, emotionally affected, which will then have a physical that will affect you physically and reduce your reserves. You've got to set some boundaries around that. Technology is great, it's marvelous, it's wonderful. Social media is great, it's marvelous, it's wonderful, and it can also hurt you. And when that happens, you need to just take care of you. You have one thing I'm learning is you've got to become your own best friend and not be so hard on yourself about everything. And kind of say, well, if I was talking to my friend, what would I say to them? So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at today. Is it FOMO? Probably not. I don't have a fear of missing out. I have a sadness of missing out. So SOMO. So anyway, that's kind of where things are at today. I'm going to lie down now. My time for sitting is up. It's all part of this very, very slow micro pacing thing. I haven't turned blue yet, so, that's a win. So the M.E Goddess is signing off. Until next time, I hope this message finds you as peaceful and comfortable as possible. Toodles!